All right, welcome. You are in the right place if you want to learn how to put together a one-page business plan to close 24 homes in 2025. My name is Mike Cerrone with Rams Agents, and we're going to get right into it pretty quick. We're going to get into some good information. Again, we're going to show you how to write up a business plan. I'm going to give you the option and the ability to get a template if you would like. The template that I'm using, you'll be able to download. I'll show that to you here in just a minute. We're going to go through an actual demo of how to prepare the business plan, and I'm going to show you a demo based on selling 24 homes in a single year. For an agent, I'm going to give some criteria for that agent, but basically an agent who's short on resources and trying to put things together and want to do it in a big way. I'm going to go through some scripts at the end and some other resources that may be helpful. And also would like to do some Q&A at the end. Hopefully, if I can get through this quickly enough, we can get everybody's feedback and some responses. So if you've got any thoughts as we're going through, be sure to put them into the chat. That would be great because I'll try to review that at the end. I won't be able to see it as I'm going through. I'm not that good, but I'll go back at the end and try to make sure that we pick up everybody's question. You can also write it down. You can unmute yourself and let us know. Please try to mute yourself during the recording though, so we get a good recording, and we'll have a little fun. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Here is the share. And somebody give me a thumbs up to let me know you can see my screen. All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and so let me change this real quick so we get, again, a good recording. There we go. Cool. Good job, Ronaldo. That was awesome. All right, so let's see. Let's do a little slideshow, and we'll zip through here. All right, so we got a one-page business plan to close 24 homes in 2025. And again, my name is Mike Cerrone with Rams Agents. I want to give this to you right away. This is how to get the free one-page business plan template if you haven't received it yet. This is a free gift for me for showing up today. And you're going to actually see the template in action during this class. So you could be filling out your own, or at least have the information to be able to do so. This is the same format that I used, this business plan in this format, this one-page format that I'm going to show you. It's the same one I used when I closed 113 homes in 1 year. So I'm pretty confident in it, and I know that it works, or at least it worked for me. The template itself, if you fill in 16 blanks, which you're going to see in a second, it will automatically fill in the rest of the plan. And so you can get your plan done in 5 minutes or less, which is pretty incredible. And if you want to get that, just go to www.agentbplan.com. Now, that's a forwarding link. So you have to put in that www.agentbplans, like business plan, bplan.com to get there. When you get there, just type in your name and your email, and we'll get that emailed out to you. All right, so hopefully everybody has that. Again, agentbplan.com. All right, so who am I to talk today? Well, my name again is Mike Cerrone, been an agent since 1993. So we're going on over 31 years, which is pretty nuts. But anyway, best stats that I had when I was in production actively, I did take 21 listings in 30 days in 1 month. So that was a lot of fun. Had 9 closings in 1 day and had 113 homes sold in 1 year. I share that information to say, I just didn't take this plan, just didn't do it on the back of a napkin somewhere and just kind of hope that it would work. It's something I actually used and applied. So I'm hoping that somebody here will get some use out of it, and it'll be applicable for you as well. All right, here are the assumptions we're going to have as we're going into the plan. So I'm not going to write this for myself. I would write this for myself if I were this agent, okay? So the agent I'm talking about is an agent who has little or no money. So they don't have a lot of resources. This agent only has a 50-person PCSOI database, so they don't have a lot of friends and family or past clients. Probably don't have the past clients yet. Probably haven't been able to fill out their total SOI, because most people actually know somewhere between 200, 250 people, believe it or not, and when they do the studies. But when I talk to agents and they're trying to put together their list, they're usually somewhere between 50 and 100. So I'm just going to go in on the low end of that list and say, hey, we got somebody who's coming in with a 50-person list. The agent does have drive. They do have drive. That's key to for this particular plan I'm going to show you the work. And the agent is willing to do things that other agents are not willing to do. in order to get things that other agents do not have. All right, so you'll see what I mean when we get in there. And again, this is how I would close 24 transactions in 2025 if I was starting from scratch and on a shoestring budget. All right, so now we're going to get into the plan itself. All right, cool. And I'm going to bring this a little bigger. I think, yeah. Okay. And in fact, let me, oops, I think I might hit a button, see if something pops up on my screen. Nope. Okay. All right. So I want to just see everybody's faces for a second. There we go. Can you guys see my screen okay? All right, cool. Thank you. So this is the business plan itself. I'm going to shrink this and try to get it out of the way for the recording. Yeah, I'll put that up here for now. All right, so let's do this. There. Okay, so this is the plan itself. I've got 3 pages here that I'm going to show you. This is actually the 1-page business plan, and let me give you some perspective. So if I do it small, what it's going to be, I know you can't read it right over here, but over on the left, you can see that this is going to be able to print out on 1 sheet of paper. That's important for this all to work right. Now I'm going to open it back up so we can read it. Okay, so this is the plan as it will pop out at the end of the system. And let's walk through it. So we've got a 2025 business plan. Our goal here for this agent is to take home, let me get this out of the way, sorry. There we go. Our goal is for this agent to bring home $450,000 in take-home pay. In order to do that, they're going to need a GCI. So let me make sure I'm highlighting this stuff. There's their goal, and in order to do that, they need a GCI of $500,000 per year. In order to do that, in my market, and it'll be different in your market because of the average sales price, but in my market, the average sales price is pretty high. And so for us, we would need 24 closings to make that happen. By the way, I'm in Denver, Colorado. And right here, we've got our sales volume per year, about 16 million, just over 16 million would get us to our goal. And so what you're going to do, by the way, you can see this plan is all laid out in the numbers. The next level down, I'm going to go down first. The GCI per month, so we just did per year, the GCI per month is going to be just over 40,000, 41,667. In order to get there, we're going to have 2 homes sold per month. So this plan has 2 homes sold per month, and the sales volume is going to be 1.3, just over 1.3 million. And we're going to come back to this, but we now know that we need to get from our goals, we have to get into 952 conversations per year. I'll come back to that one. Let's go over to the middle of the chart. Let's go back up here. So we have the GCI per year was 500,000. How are we going to do that? In this plan, we're going to have buyer side of 20% of the business. That was just an assumption that I made. I'll show you how we get there in a second. And you can change yours, but I'm going to say I'm going to be heavy on sellers and light on buyers. So my sellers are going to be 80% of my business. That's going to be 400,000 of the GCI, and my buyers are going to be 100,000 of the business. And what is that going to be in my market? That would be 5 solds for buyers per year and about 3.3 million in volume. For sellers, it's 19 homes sold per year and about 13.3 million. Okay, so I got the annual, and then we break it down to monthly. So for our monthly goal of GCI, it's 41,000. And so breaking that out to buyers is 8,000, and for sellers, it's 33,000. For my buyers, I need less than half of a closing per month. Okay, that's going to get me to my goal of 5. And so basically what that's saying is I need to have one closing every 2 months for these buyers. And then for my sellers, I'm going to have just over 1.5 closings per month. So basically what's going to happen there is I'm going to have 3 closings every 2 months. And my buyer volume is going to be 277,000 per month. My seller volume on average, by the way, is going to be about 1.1 million. Now let's go back down here to conversations. What we have figured out is by running all these numbers, the formula has kicked out that I need to have 952 conversations per year. Now we're getting into a KPI, something we can actually start tracking. And so we've got number of conversations per month would be 79. And if we just break that down to the daily, working daily, 5 days a week, it's just 4 conversations a day. So it becomes very manageable once you bring that down to the daily action. Who thinks they could get into 4 conversations a day? Okay, right? Doesn't that sound a little better than all these other crazy numbers, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to bring it down to something where your brain says, okay, I can do that. And that's why that number is highlighted there. You'll notice we have it circled in dark. And now let's go down to how we're going to do it. Our brain needs to know how we're going to pull this off. So we're going to go through the lead generation methods. And the first lead generation method is past clients and sphere of influence. That should always be your number one foundational level for your business. Even if you're just starting, even if it's really small, that's the place that you're going to want to put the emphasis on your business to get it started. All the top agents do that, whether they're a top team or they're a top solo. They have a very strong foundation in past clients and sphere of influence. So for this agent, we're going to go for 6 closings per year. So let me show you where we are. So we're lead generation method number 1, past client sphere of influence. We got 6 closings per year. And I think that that's a pretty reasonable number. It's going to be a bit of work for this agent. Remember, this agent has a list of 50 people. And so 6 closings would be about 12% on the referral productivity percentage. That's the turn each year out of that list. And the top agents that we've talked to, in particular, the top solo agents, they're usually floating between the 10 and 20% mark. Some are above that, but that seems to be a pretty good number. In fact, most of them are hanging around the 20%. And so I think that this agent, if we get them into a system right away that works and is proven, that they should be able to get to that 12% mark or their 6 closings per year. All right, how many leads are they going to need each year? They're going to need 12 leads out of this source. They don't need a lot of leads out of your PCSY. This is why everybody spends so much time on PCSY. These are people that already know, like, and trust you. If you get a lead out of this group, it's highly likely that they're going to hire you. In fact, we figured it's 50%. 1 in 2 of those people should be hiring you. All right, so they're going to need to get 12 leads to get those 6 closings. That's 1 lead a month or 0.1 lead per day. How are we going to pull that off? Here is our action plan in just a couple of sentences. And that is, and let me do it this way so you can see where I'm at. There you go. All right, we're going to get the Referral Agent Mastery System. That's a program I put together called RAMS. You can use it or something else, but you need to find some way or system, something that's consistently working and duplicatable. We're going to email out once a month. We're going to mail once a month. We're going to have social posts once a month. And we're going to host 4 mini events per year. Now, these mini events that we have are shoestring budget events. We're talking about $175 to pull off the event. That we're talking very small events. We like giveaways, and that's how we're able to pull that off. But anyway, that's what this agent's going to do as far as action. Now let's go down to the next thing. We've got lead generation item number 2. So let me just say this. This first method gets them to 6 closings. That's not enough to reach their goal of 24. So we got to go down to the next lead generation method. And I'm going to recommend expireds, especially right now. I assume a lot of people are seeing expireds in their market right now, starting to pop up, pick up a lot. Yeah, I'll tell you, here in Colorado, I've been tracking it for a couple of years now. And in my area, I might see a couple a month. Now I'm seeing like 10 a day. It's really skipped up high. That's in my county. And I'm in a big metroplex. So there's a lot more going on all throughout the city. You should be checking expireds if you haven't looked recently. There's a lot of action happening there, and it's a great method to pick up some listings. So here we go. We're going to have, for this agent, we're going to have the goal of 12 closings per year. How are they going to pull that off? They're going to get 120 leads per year. That, by the way, is not prospects. That's not just people that they put into their database to contact. These are actual leads, and leads are qualified in this world as somebody who we've contacted, we've had a conversation with. They've given us some kind of motivation that they do want to sell their home. So they've got motivation. They've given us a timeline for when they want to get that home sold. That's part of their motivation, is a timeline and a deadline of when they want it to be done. They've given us their contact information and permission to contact them. That is a lead. So this person's going to need to get 120 of those leads to get to the 12 closings per year. they're going to need to get 12 per month, excuse me, 10 per month. By the way, the 120 was over the year, 10 per month, 0.5 per day, half a day. This is the how or why that's going to be worked out properly. This person is going to need is going to have a 10% answer rate. So when we're going to be making phone calls. This person, if you recall, does not have resources. So what they have is time. And when you have time, the best thing you can do is either knock on doors or pick up the phone and make phone calls. Okay. And so this person, we're going to have them make some phone calls. Their answer rate is going to be about 10%. Of that, of the people who answer, about 10% of those will become leads. So about 1 in 100 people that you dial will become a lead. The other stats that are good for you to know is 50 dials will result in 5 talks or conversations and about a half a lead per day. And if you like to look at the monthly, it's 1,000 dials per month will result in 10 people, 100 people that you talk to, 10 leads, 2 listings, and 1 of those is going to close each month. Okay, so that's how that works out. And now we're going to go down to lead gen number 3. We got circle prospecting, and that's where you're going to call around, same idea, but you're going to do just listed, just sold phone calls or just listed, just sold knocks. And in that area, our goal is to pick up 6 closings for the year. We're going to need 120 leads per year in this source. That's we're going to have 10 leads per month and 0.5 leads per day. How are we going to hit that goal, or why is it going to work? It's because, again, we're going to have a 10% answer rate when we're making those phone calls, and 10% of those will become leads. We got 50 dials a day equals 5 talks equals half a lead a day. Where it starts to change up is in the next grouping. In 1,000 dials, we're going to have 100 conversations, 100 talks, 10 leads. But out of the 10 leads, we're only going to get 1 listing, whereas opposed to the expireds that are more motivated, we'd get 2 listings. And out of there, we'd have a half a closing per month, which would bring us up to our 6 closings per year. All right, next we're going to have a budget. And by the way, just hang in there with me. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. You'll understand how this all comes together in just a second. The budget is, our gross goal is $500,000 in gross income. We're going to be paying out $20,000 in this scenario to the broker in the split. There's going to be $5,000 that's going to go towards marketing our listings as well as ourselves and lead generation. I'm not going to say there's going to be any staff costs. For instance, my company, which happens to be Epic Realty, they have a transaction coordinator that's provided for the agent. You check that out and see if your broker provides something like that for you. So I have 0 in this scenario. The education cost is $5,000 in case you need to learn something as you're moving along. You want to have those resources put aside that you can dive in and learn something quickly and get ahead. And then other costs, I'm assuming, are going to be $20,000. And if you don't spend that money, it just drops to the bottom line. And in this case, we now have a bottom line number of $450,000 before taxes. The last part of this is whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Now, this is the first page of the business plan. You'll notice it's in summary format. It gives all the numbers, figures, concepts. It's a logical flow for how you're going to hit your goal of $450,000 in take home. What I want to also show you, and I'm going to come back to this in just a sec, this is the front page of the plan. It's a 1-page plan, but I do have a back page to the plan, and that's the affirmations. So I'm going to have a single piece of paper where the front is going to have the plan and the back is going to have my affirmations. I want to walk through these real quick, and then I'm going to summarize and bring it together. So here are the affirmations that I used to use. I'm destined for greatness. I achieve my goals by helping others achieve their goals. I plan my work and work my plan. I'm organized and follow a daily schedule. I use systems, technology, and teams to achieve my goals. I take home $450,000 per year from my super successful real estate practice. I easily close 24 homes per year, 2 homes per month. I have $50,000 cash in the bank. I own 10 rental units worth $5 million, generating $250,000 per year in passive income. I live below my means. I'm debt free. I save 20% of my income every time I earn a commission. I'm a millionaire. I love my wife and children. I provide them the means to live a wonderful life. I spend quality time with my wife and kids each and every day. I exercise 5 times per week. I'm in excellent physical shape. I eat healthy foods and drinks. I get things done. I do things now. I listen twice as much as I talk. I smile all the time, and I love living my wonderful life. These were all very important for me because I was having challenges in all these areas, and I wanted to program my mind to make sure that I would get beyond those beyond those obstacles that I was experiencing. Okay. Like I'll just give a more of a personal example. Let's see right here. I spend quality time with wife and kids each and every day. When I was running in my business, I went 7 years without taking a vacation. That was insane, right? I was working like 12 hours a day. I wasn't seeing my family. It was awful. And I wanted to change that. So I started to put this into my affirmations to make sure that I could make that happen, which I eventually did. And I'm glad to say I am still married. It was getting pretty dicey there for a while because I wasn't doing the right thing. I wasn't eating the right foods and drinks. I gained a lot of weight. Okay. And so I wanted to have this in here that, hey, I'm programming my mind that I eat healthy foods and drinks. Okay. These are examples, right? I wanted to program in my mind, hey, what my goal is for my take home. Hey, this is my new level. Everybody has a thermostat in your brain as to what you can achieve. I wanted to raise my thermostat in my brain as to what I felt comfortable achieving. All right. So what I would do then, here's the magic of how this works. Okay, we finally got to the magic. I take this first page and I print it out. I put it back in the printer, and then I print on the back my affirmations. So now I have a single sheet of paper, front and back, with my business plan on the front, my affirmations on the back. So front and back. I take that sheet of paper and I laminate it. Go down. I used to go down to the Kinko's, but wherever you go today, business center, and you get it laminated. And what I would do then is I would take showers in the morning. I'd get in there and I'd have all the hot water going. I'd lather up really fast and take the shower part of the shower. And then I would grab my affirmations and I would read it as fast as I could, as often as I could, while I'm having all that nice hot water. It's fresh. I just woke up, so my mind is clear and I'm fresh, and I'm just plugging this information in. I am programming my mind for the success that I want. Okay. When I did this and started to do this, my business jumped. I was able to break out of the 20 units per closings that I was stuck at per year. The next year I went to 41. The next year after that I went to 95. And the next year after that I went to 110. So I'm very pro this concept. I believe in it. All right. Let me show you finally, and then I'm going to open this up here pretty quick. I want to show you how we got there. If you like this format, this is how you can get it in 5 minutes. So this is all in the same template, by the way. I have the back of the plan, the front of the plan, and all the way at the beginning is the worksheet itself. If you'll plug in 16 numbers into these yellow areas, it will autofill the plan. So for instance, I'm going to show you an example. The year on this plan is 2025, it's next year. Let's say it's 2026. If I type that in there, watch what happens in the plan. Now the plan says 2026. Okay. And the affirmations say 2026. Okay. All because I changed the worksheet. It's designed to autofill in. And it's not super sophisticated. I just did this on a spreadsheet. But we got this right there. Boom. I'll go back to 2025. And of course, now the plan is 2025 again. All right. I'm doing that for these yellow numbers. They're going to get auto-filled in and calculated based on what we put in. So we have the goal of the take-home pay. You put your number in there. And the next item is the net profit margin. If you don't know it, you can use 50% as a starting point, and then you can modify or change. I just figured because we're at such a high GCI, our profit margin is going to be pretty strong. We'll go with 90%. And that would then the formula calculates this gross commission income you need for the year. So let me give you an example. If I change the net profit margin to 70%, notice that now I need GCI of 642,000 in order to hit that 450 goal. Okay. If I said it was 50%, I need 900,000 in gross commission income. And all the other numbers are changing throughout the program. So let's go back to where I was though, 90%, and so now I need the 500,000 in GCI. All right, let's go to average sales price. You need to know what your average sales price is in your area. My area is an outstanding, amazing 700,000 today, which is just mind-blowing to me. When I started 31 years ago, we were one of the cheapest places to live in the United States, and now we're one of the most expensive. I don't know why that happened, but it did. I was selling condos for My first listing I took, my very first listing was a 1-bedroom condo for $19,000. In the same building, I listed another property a couple months later it was a 2-bedroom for $26,000. So it's amazing what the prices have done. I assume they've done that in your area if you go back that far, but just crazy. Well, my area is 700,000. Find out what your is. Your average commission rate, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10%, whatever it is. I'm going to just put in 3 here for me. But notice if I put in a different number, it's going to change this average commission in dollars. So if I put in 2%, it changed the average commission in dollars. If I put in 1%, it changes the average commission in dollars. If I put in 5%, it changes the average commission in dollars. And then that rolls all the way throughout the program. Okay, so that all you have to do is fill in the yellows and the rest of it will work out. All right, next item is the buyer-seller distribution. How many buyers, what percentage are you going to work with buyers versus sellers? And for me, I want to be seller heavy so that I can have a little free time. Okay. And so that's why I designed this particular business plan this way. You can design yours differently, but this program will do whatever you tell it. So let's say that instead I want to do buyers 70%. Watch what happens to the percentage number underneath here. When I do that, boom, it calculates it and brings it down to 30%. Okay, so whatever you put in for buyers, it will calculate the seller side. So let's say you do 50-50, it'll go 50-50. Let's go back to my 20, and there we go. All right, then the formula, this program is doing all the calculations for all the rest of the numbers. It's figuring out the GCI per year, per month, the number of homes sold per year, per month, and also sales volume per year, per month. And then we're going to go down to here for another yellow for something we have to fill in. So we have to figure out how many conversations do we need to have one closing. And that's going to be dependent on either your own personal experience, if you've been tracking, or the type of business that you're pursuing. So for instance, if you're going after internet leads, which are very generic, your number is going to be very high. If you're going after just referrals and past clients, your number is going to be a lot lower. And so I've just found out through time that the average, if you mix all those up, is about 40 conversations per closing. And that's where I recommend you start if you don't know a number. All right, next we've got that results in our conversations per year that we need, right? It calculates it. Like for instance, if I change this conversations per closing to 20, notice that the conversations per year went down. If I go back up to 40, it went back up. Let's say you're brand new and you have to get into a lot of conversations. You'll notice the number went way up. Okay. Or you're working, like I said, a lot of internet leads or leads that are being shared with a lot of agents. All right, next we got this is where I enter the type of lead gen I'm going to do. There we go. So I got lead gen number 1. I put in the yellow past clients and sphere of influence. And in there, in that area, I'm going to make the assumption I'm going to close 6 transactions out of that because I've got that database of 50. And I also believe that I would need to have 2 leads per closing based on this source. You'll notice over here on the right, these are all the little cheat sheet items to help you out if you don't know what to do. So it actually says, hey, look, if you don't know what number to use here, go ahead and use 50 for internet leads, 10 for FSBOs, expireds, farming, signed calls or opens, and 2 for past clients. Okay, and sphere of influence. All right, once you do that, it's going to calculate the numbers in here, which is cool. And then I'm going to write in my little plan on how I'm going to do it in just a couple of sentences. So it'll auto-populate. And there I've got lead gen 1. Lead gen 2 is expired listings. I'm going to bump up the number of closings per year and the number of leads per closing. It does the calculation for us. I type in my plan. Lead gen number 3, circle prospecting. I'm going to have 6 closings per year. I need 20 leads per closing. And then I'm going to type in my little plan on how I'm going to do it. Okay, and again, all that's going to get auto-filled in into my final plan. This last part at the bottom, we're almost done here, is, hey, Mike, you told us you have $50,000 in total cost based on the fact that expenses are 10%. How'd we get there? Very up here at the top, we had 90% net profit margin I wrote in. And so that means we have 10% in the expenses down here. Where'd you go? Whoops. Sorry about flipping around so much. There it is, the 10%. So the 10% total cost is on the other side of the equation. And in my example, that results in 50,000. Well, the last part of the plan is divide up the 10,000 into a couple categories so you know where your money's going. And you have to tell us how much is going to the split, what percentage, how much is going towards marketing and lead gen, how much is going towards staff, how much is going to go to education, and then what the balance is, what's left over. And so you're going to start typing these in, what your best estimate is. You can see it'll calculate numbers. For instance, I have 4 here. If I put in 6, it brought that number of the dollars from 20 up to 30. I'm going to go back to 4. Okay. And then we've got the same for all the rest of them. What's really interesting is down here, as you're doing this, we give you a cost distribution check if the numbers are not adding up. Let me give you an example. If other is 4, but instead I say 8, you'll notice it says, hey, look, you're off by 4 now. You went beyond your budget. You're going to have to shrink something down. And so you could go through and change other things, but we'll change the 8 back to, let me do that so you can see it. You can do the 8 back to 4, and notice the very bottom number goes back to 0. So that's how you can balance out and make sure everything in the plan is going to work. And that part is down here in the plan. That's our budget. So now you got a big picture view of the one-page business plan. Woo! All right. Got it done in 30 minutes. I don't know how long it was going to take. I was hoping. Let's do this. Who's got some questions before I go on to the next little pieces of info? Tristan, do you got something?
Yeah, I do quickly. Just picking up my kids. Sorry for the background noise. But I wanted to just ask you the opportunity to touch on the mindset and the importance of the affirmations and the role that played in you leveling up your business and thinking bigger.
Thank you, Tristan. Yeah, it was huge. It's hard. So there's a couple things going on here that are, again, the best way I can say this is that this approach is like trying to rewrite the software in your brain, at least when it comes to your thoughts on business, and in particular, your practice. So what we're doing is we're plugging in a system in your brain on, and I'm going to get to your question in a minute, but we're putting in all the numbers, which is really key. You'll notice it says whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. I'm saying that out loud. Okay, I'm getting that in my mind as well. So I've got now my mind is logically seeing a way to get to my goal. And then on the back is the key with the affirmations. I am planting in the qualities that I need to have, the talents, the skills I need to have, the outlook that I need to have in order to make that plan work, right? And to make me a better person. So I think it was pretty big. Again, I'm doing both. I'm not doing just one. And I can't tell you what it'd be if you did just one because I didn't experiment with that. I didn't like just read the plan. Somehow I knew to do affirmations. Somebody must have taught me that along the way. And it was big. It was big. In fact, I tried to read my affirmations when I was heavy into this. I was trying to read my affirmations multiple times a day. In the morning, definitely before I went to bed at night, and at least once during the day at my office. So hopefully that helps. It helped me to just feel better. Let me tell you the other thing about this. If you do this, at first when you read through it's going to feel like gobbledygook. It may have felt that way as I was running through it. And same here, you're going to be like, wow, I don't know. And you're just trying to get this, you're trying to get through it. It's hard to read and you might be stumbling a little bit. But after you do this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times, it becomes real smooth and easy. In fact, you can hold that sheet up, close your eyes, and you can basically be reading it as you're going without even looking at it because it's in your brain. And that is the purpose. That's the goal. All right, good. Other questions? I'm going to try to do this here. Anybody else have any other questions?
Yes, me.
Hey, Rita.
Hi. Quick question. I downloaded the form from the site that you said, and I've noticed that on number 23 on the chart, underneath total cost per year, there's a percentage for yours, but I'm missing that on mine.
Okay, so let's see. Are you talking about the worksheet here?
Yes.
Okay, the worksheet number 29.
73.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which line? 73?
Yes.
73.
So I don't have line 74.
Oh, you don't have line 74. Is it calculating the number?
It's calculating a number, yes.
Well, that's good.
Okay, so
Maybe
that's
I
fine.
added the number later. Yeah, I'm sorry
Okay.
about that.
Okay, no problem. I just
It'll
wanted to make
still
sure.
work though. So do you still have the percentages down here?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but you're not seeing this 10%. Whoops.
Right.
Oh, no.
I'm not seeing total cost percentage. That line is
Right.
not there.
Anybody else have the same challenge? No? Okay. Well, Rita, I'm assuming that's my error. I probably did that when I was putting it forward. And you got two options. One is you could add the line. Two,
Yeah,
you could
okay.
just, as long as it balances out, it's going to autofill in these items.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
The one thing that it may be an issue, do you have this total cost distribution check at the very bottom?
No.
Okay, so that's probably something I added later in a later version. So good, you got an early version.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to
Thank you.
put up a newer version. Thanks for pointing that out. Rita, do you have any other questions for me?
Not at the moment. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you for being here. Anybody else have any questions?
I do. Can you hear me?
Hey, Gayleen, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. I found out about this a little late, so I got on about 15 minutes after you got started. How do I get a copy of this this plan? You mentioned a website.
You bet.
Okay.
Great question. Right here, if you'll go to agentbplan.com, and you're going to want to type in www.agentbplan.com on Google or something like that to get you there. It's a redirect link. It's not an actual website. But if you do that, you should get there. Yeah, just be sure to put, if I don't put in the www. I won't get there on my web browser. So that's why I'm telling you to do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Cool. Other questions in the plan itself before we move on to the next little execution part?
Excuse me. I just added in the worksheet that I pulled down. For some reason, there's several cells on the front sheet that will not completely populate. It's showing just like it's not large enough, but it won't allow me to move the cells over.
So I've seen that before, and I'm trying to remember how we fixed that. I think what we had to do, so you're saying that, now is that in the plan itself, like when it's printing here?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not on yours, but it's on mine that I downloaded.
I understand. And the way that I've seen people fix that when we were playing with this before is if you highlight everything and then you change this font size.
The font size.
Yeah, if you shrink that down a little bit, I think that was the way we resolved it before so that everything could fit a little better. Like I've got them at 11. So if I go down to like 9, heads up, you're about to edit the sheet. Oh, okay. So you have to give yourself.
Gotcha. I'll try it.
I think. Yeah. See,
no worries.
What it did was it kind of shrunk everything within those boxes. Yeah. Let me know if that works. Okay. It's Denise, right? My eyesight's not the greatest. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm getting old. I have to do this all the time to see anything. Anybody else having that? Terrible. All right. Let's do boom, boom. Good question. All right, cool. And then one other thing that pops up usually along those lines is this box right here. If it's overflowing, you wrote in a lot of information on how to do it. You may have to either shrink the font size really small or reduce the amount of text you have. Try to use abbreviation. Okay. Good. Good. Other questions about the sheet and the business plan? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little more info, and then I'm going to also go check chat in a minute. Let me do this and do this so it's out of the way. And we'll go into, let me give you just a little bit more here. So we got some lead sources and dialers. So you'll notice for this particular individual, we're going to do some phone dialing, which, you know, is kind of scary and everything, but it's actually not too bad once you get rolling on it. You're going to need to get sources of phone numbers, and you're going to need to eventually get a dialer. You could do this all on your own initially to get, test it and use your own phone. But eventually, if you start doing this, you're going to want to get a more professional lead source that creates these numbers for you quickly and easily. And then the same with the dialer. Once you get into a nice dialer that's making constant dials for you, it really does lighten the load. And so lead sources, again, you can do yourself. You can use Cole's directory. That was the old one we used in the old days. We call it the old reverse directory. They're still out there, excuse me, and they've got some pretty good data. There's LandVoice, My Plus Leads, which I've used recently and actually was pretty good, and it's pretty inexpensive. My Plus Leads, if you need a link for that, let me know. I think I have a special discount on that, but I didn't put it in here. But anyway, we've got complete dialer systems, which we're going to see below. If you just want a dialer, you got the Red X and Wave and others. I actually use one called Wave, and it's worked pretty good. And then dialer systems, where you're getting kind of all of it combined, where you've got the dialer, a CRM, leads are being funneled in. You got companies like the Red X, Vulcan 7, Espresso Agent, and there are others out there. Just want to give you a couple quick names for some resources. Here is a script. And I've used a lot of different scripts over the years. A lot of my scripts actually come from Mike Ferry, and he's phenomenal. A lot of people think, though, he's a little too direct. So I went out there and looked for one I thought sounded really good that was a little softer. And Ricky Carruth, if you've heard him, he's got this script for circle prospecting. And I'm just going to walk through it real fast. So you're calling up strangers and you're talking to them about, say, a just listed or a just sold home in your neighborhood. You're calling around a home that you just listed or just sold, someone in your team just listed, just sold, or someone in your office just listed, just sold. Or you're calling in an area that you're trying to pick up in, say, a geographically farm, and you're more generic. And that's what this script is based off of. So you just say a ring, 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 and you say, hey, Pam. Hey, Pam, it's Mike Cerrone with ABC Realty. How are you today? Oh, fantastic. Hey, look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but a home just sold in your area. Is there anything I can do for you? Oh, okay, I understand, because they'll often say no. Say, okay, I understand. Hey, is there an agent in your area that you would work with if you were to buy or sell something? Well, great. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm sure that you would buy or sell something at some point in the future, and I'd love to work with you when that day comes. Would it be okay if I stayed in touch with you? Awesome. Hey, what's a good email for you? And is this your cell number? Cool. Hey, I'm going to stay in touch with you by email. And if you ever need anything or have any questions, please reach out. Again, my name is Mike, and I'm with ABC Realty. Have a great day. Okay, that's it. It's very quick. It's very easy. It's real light. You're just having fun. You're just chatting with someone. What I like about this script is you don't even have to have a specific address. You're not pushing a property. You're just letting them know a home sold in their area. So you want to pull up homes that have sold in the area before you call in if you're doing a generic farm, or you're calling around a just sold in this example. And basically the key question there is, hey, is there anything I can do for you? In that question, if they are interested, if they're thinking about buying or selling real estate, it will often come out. And if they're not, that's not a problem. We're going to go on and just create a general lead we're going to add to a database and stay up with. So I did a lot of geofarming in my day. I just did it through mail. This would have been a great approach to add to that, to pick up everybody's email address, right? And then we could have done mail and email at the same time, as well as phone calls. So there's a circle prospecting script. If you were looking for one, you can take a screenshot of it, or hopefully it'll come up in the replay. I'm going to show you another script. Remember, for this agent, we first had circle prospecting. Well, that was actually the third item. We also had PCSOI. That was their first item they wanted to do. And Ricky has a very soft approach to that, which I think is really good. And here's what it is. It says, Jill, hey, Jill, this is Mike Cerrone with ABC Realty. How are you doing today? Fantastic. Look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I was just calling to check on you. Is there anything in the world I can do for you? Cool. Hey, how's the house? How's the family? Vacation plans? We're just kind of talking about whatever pops up. And then you're going to skip all the way to the bottom if you're having a good conversation and say, hey, great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stay in touch with you by email. If you ever need anything or have any questions, please reach out and have a great day. Now, if you call up and for whatever reason you haven't talked to this person in a long time, like I discovered I have a very old list. I was doing some research on that the other day. If you call up and they just can't remember who you are, you say, hey, oh no, hey, this is Mike Cerrone with ABC Realty. Remember, I helped you buy your property at 123 Elm Street. Look, I know I lost touch in the past. Would it be okay if I stayed in touch with you moving forward? Oh, awesome. Hey, what's a good email for you? And is this your cell number? Okay, so that's why that script is broken out that way. And it's a nice little script to just touch base with your PCSOI. Or call up people you haven't talked to in a long time. All right, here is the expired listing script. It's really small print. I apologize, but I want to fill it in on one page. And this is my last script, by the way. This is by a guy named Brandon Mulrenan. I think that's how we say his name, Mulrenan. Nice guy. He basically is a Ferryite branch off. Everybody goes back to somebody. A lot of people go back to Mike Ferry, but he took Mike Ferry scripts, and again, he tried to just soften them a little bit. So some people like this approach. This is the expired script, excuse me. And this is the variation of a person who works with Brandon. His name is, oh, I just pulled a blank. That guy's last name is Black, and I'm trying to remember his first name. Boom. Well, maybe it'll come to me. This kid, he's a young guy. He's in his 20s. Everybody's a kid to me that's younger than me. But he's a young fella, real sharp, and he is in Tennessee, I think. And last January, he took 17 listings in the month of January. Going after expired listings was his primary source, and he used this script. So that's why I thought I'd share it with you. And we'll just run through it really fast. You call up, you say, Bill, hey, Bill, this is Mike. I'm a local realtor. And listen, before you hang up, I was hoping to ask you a quick question about the home for sale. Would that be okay? So you're asking for permission. Okay. Hey, Bill, I saw that it came off the market unsold, and I didn't know if you sold it privately or it might still be available. All right. We get an answer. Okay, fair enough. And Bill, I was just kind of surprised to see that it didn't sell. And I was curious, when your agent was updating you each week and sharing feedback with you, did they share a strategy of why it hadn't sold and what they were planning to do at that point? Okay, so now we're going to go into their memory banks to what happened in the past and say, hey, interesting. Okay, and Bill, had it sold, were you guys planning on buying something here locally, or were you looking to relocate altogether? Okay, gotcha. And Bill, do you have another minute before I let you go? Just have another question or two. Okay, cool. Hey, Bill, so your home, it looks great and it's in a great area. I'm a little shocked that you'd even consider selling it. Why? Why not rent it or remodel it? Okay, so that's actually a really powerful piece right there. You're giving people a way to step back and to look at other options, which helps them bond more with you and realize you're not just calling them with commission breath. All right, so you say, okay, hey, let me ask you, if you got an offer, so they've said, no, we really want to sell it. Say, okay, let me ask you, if you got an offer with terms you liked, price that made sense, it was a lot cleaner and easier, is that something that would be a problem at this point? And now they're going to say, oh, no, that wouldn't be a problem. We could do something with that. Great. Okay. Well, Bill, what if I did this? Before I let you go, can I make just a quick recommendation? Oh, sure. Okay. So, Bill, listen, I don't know if it'd make any sense for us to work together. I mean, we've never met. I haven't seen your home. But would you be totally opposed to inviting me over one day this week? And when I'm there, I can share a strategy that's helped our clients sell their homes for top dollars and get it done quickly without any stress. And then at the end of our appointment, we can decide if working together makes sense or not. Because let's be honest, you wouldn't be considering hiring me unless you felt that I could actually get your home sold, right? Okay, cool. Well, Bill, I could potentially meet you either today at either 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Which of those works best? Oh, perfect. I'm going to put you on my calendar. I'm going to send you an email with a copy of my resume so you know who's coming by and you can review how my plan works. What's the best email to use? All right. Hey, before I let you go, I just have a few quick questions so I can prepare for our meeting. Can I ask you now? And you go into your full qualifying questions after you've set the appointment. So again, this comes from, is it Trevor? No, I'm trying. I can't remember the guy's name all of a sudden. I'm sorry. Maybe it's Trevor Black. Anyway, he's a really nice young guy, but he's been using the script really, really well. And his focus is getting right into talking to them about what happened. What happened? Why did this thing sell? We know it should have sold because that's what the seller wants to talk about. Anyway, so that's a couple of scripts for you. Hopefully that was helpful. And I think that's all I've got on that. I am going to stop my share and open this up for questions and also look in our chat to see if we have any questions.
I have a question.
Gayleen, go for it.
Do you leave a message if they don't answer?
Oh, good question. Which group would you like to talk about? The expireds or
sellers?
Yeah, so let's go into those scripts. Oh, you can't see. I'm looking at it, but you can't see my screen. Hold on. Let me open that back up. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Share. Boom. All right, so over here on the scripts, we've got 3 different scripts I shared. So the circle prospecting script, these are going out to, again, strangers, people you don't know. And typically people are not leaving voice messages here. You could, but typically people are not. If you're doing geo farming though in that area, I actually would drop a voice message because they're seeing your face through mail. Now they're hearing your voice through voicemail. But if you're doing more of the hit and miss kind of approach where you're going to just listed, just sold all over town, then I would not be dropping voicemails in. The PCSOI absolutely would leave a message for them. Definitely would leave a message for them. This is your PCSOI. Just say, hey, sorry I called. Sorry I missed you. Gayleen, it was just wanted to check in with you. Don't worry about having to call me back. Just want to make sure everything was going well. If you need anything from me, I'm here for you. Okay, that would be the voicemail. And then the script for the expired listings, is there a voicemail left here? And the answer is typically not. People are trying to get a hold of people and get into a conversation. So typically they're not leaving a voicemail because the odds of getting a reply on voicemail is very low. And so therefore they'd rather spend their time dialing the next person to try to get a hold of somebody.
Okay, well, it's just my husband always blocks anyone that doesn't leave a voicemail. So, because he figures if they're not interested enough to leave a voicemail. So I was just curious.
Well, that's not a bad piece of information, right? Yeah, so maybe we need to start leaving more messages, especially for your husband.
Yeah.
I bet he's not alone. I bet a lot of people do something like that. I hadn't heard that before. That's something good to know. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, cool. Other questions? If I can see chat when I'm on here. Why I'm making a mess there. I'm gonna close this down so I can see and hear everybody. I'm gonna go over the chat and see if I missed anybody's chat. Oh, I got participants. Where's the chat? Okay, here we go. Let's see. What's the link to the worksheet? Okay, we just gave that again. And again, just go to www.agentbplan.com. Going to ask the same. 75 is, oh, line 75. I think we just talked about that. Good. And there you go, agentbplan.com. Thank you, Angela. Lisa, same issue with the spreadsheet. Boy, we got to get that corrected, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll look at getting a corrected version of that uploaded. Let me see if I can work on that. Sales A7 for sales volume per year on front range is not large enough. Okay, so for that one, I think we talked about this already. Denise, make sure you try to shrink the font. Rebecca, lost power when you were going over lead source 1. Yeah, bummer. Can you review some of the things you would be doing with this group? Yeah, and so let's see, that one was group 1. That was our PCSOI, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and through the PCSOI, it was just going through numbers. Let me open that up so you can see it. No. I got to get better at flipping back and forth here. Let's see. All right, there it is. And so we're looking at the sheet, and this is lead generation number 1, past clients and sphere of influence. And right here, let me shrink this. All right, so we've got the referral agent mastery system. Here was the plan. Email once per month, mail once per month, and social post once per month, plus host 4 mini events per year. And we do these very small, easy giveaway events that we call giveaways. So they're really easy to handle. You're not doing them in the location. They're all virtual and they're very inexpensive. we're spending about $175 per event, and that's for gift cards that are the rewards for them participating in the event. So that's pretty cool. And that's the easiest way to get going with events. And it has really big impact. So the whole power of an event is the reach out, it's the touch, and it's basically the invitation. The power of an event is in the invitation. So it doesn't matter what the event is, it matters that you make the reach outs and the invitations. Okay. All right, so hopefully that answered the question there. I got to go back over here. Let's see, Mike, is this recorded? I'm trying to record it. We'll see if it ends up being recorded. Thank you, Tony. And let's see, thank you for your information. Be watching the recorded version. Okay, thanks for being here, Brenda. Let's see, and Tony, Mike, is this, oh, you just asked the same question. Having trouble with your internet. Sorry to hear that, Tony. And by the way, good to see you. Good, you and Cindy. Blake, hey, Blake, cool. Tony's recording it, and he notified us. Oh, there you go. You were answering his question. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. I need to leave. Okay. Oh, hey, thanks for being here, Gary. And let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to read through all the comments. Don't see any links here. Can you email us the links? Yep. And affirmation list, I believe the one would be destined for greatness. Oh, I had a typo for sure. I always have typos, so I completely agree. There probably is some typos in this thing. So please correct your version. And then Mel. Hey, Mel, good to see you, buddy. And thanks for the info. Got to run. Cool. All right. Does anybody? Oh, I see Michelle has her hand up. Good job, Michelle. Michelle, fire away.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Michelle, I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us today.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I won't take up too much of your time, but now I just wanted to know what your advice would be for following up with like a married couple where one party's like, yes, I want this, I want that, but then the other party is politely like declining, and you want to be respectful. Especially this one gentleman was like, I'll get back to you. I'm going to go over some stuff and then I'll get back to you. So it's like, how do you politely follow up? Like,
Sure.
you-
What
like
what was the lead source?
open house?
Open house. So you've met these people,
Yes.
but you don't have a really close relationship with them.
No.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of potential there. So it was just, it's just hard. I'm like, if he's serious, he'll call me back and he'll respect me more for giving him space. But it's like it's kind of hard to kind of gauge.
You bet.
What would you recommend?
Well, there's no magic answer. Let's start with that. There's no perfect answer for any of this. And you're going to have to start going with your gut. Here's the deal, though. Most people under follow up versus over follow up. I am guilty of that. Most people under follow up versus over follow up. So I think just in the general concept of follow up, it's better that you consistently do your follow up. If you think you have a serious person, until they tell you, hey, look, don't contact me anymore. If they've told you that, then you would just have to stop. But if they haven't told you that, then I would keep reaching out to them based on how long they said that they wanted to move. If you have that information, their timeline. So if they want to move like this week, boy, you're calling them every day. If they want to move this month, you're probably calling them a couple times a week. If they're moving in the next couple months, you're probably calling them at least weekly. So you're gauging that as to how frequently you're going to reach out to them. You want to bring them items of value, because here's what the deal is. This guy may be saying no now, and then tomorrow something changes at work or something changes in his personal life. He's like, okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready to go.
That's true.
You don't know what day that's going to be or what event that's going to be. And so our job is just to stay in front of them. Just say, hey, look, I'm here for you. If you have anything or need anything. No, I don't need you right now, Michelle. Like, okay, no problem. And you call them back next week. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I just saw this property come up. I thought it'd be interesting for you. Oh, really? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I want to take a look at that. Because now they're in engagement mode, right?
That's right. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you.
You betcha. I'll give you one last piece of that, because there's a lot of different philosophies. It's a great question, and it's hard to know the right answer. There is no right answer. You just do what you can. The other answer is get more leads. right? If you don't have someone is ready to work with you right now, then you might have to talk to someone else. Now, I personally would like to just drip on them a little bit, drip some information, drip some follow up. You know, I just might pull back a little bit, um, but don't stop, right? Unless they tell you to stop. But the other philosophy is, hey, look, you need more leads, go talk to more people. And you decide which one's best for you. What do you think about all that, Michelle?
I think it's good. I didn't think of it in terms of the interval, like the ratio, like just because they're not interested now, don't stop, you know. In terms of the 1 week, like the appropriate ratio, the ratio.
And you said there was the other party to the relationship. I think you said it was a he and a she, that she
Yes.
is gung ho. She's ready to go, right?
Yeah, I'm like, tell me, I want to know the countertops. I want to know this. She's like, oh yes, like I was giving her my strategy. Let's go to Home Depot and, just tour some stuff so that I can get an idea. I think it's kind of beats like house touring and stuff maybe at times, but the point is I was engaged and she was super excited and then the person that, it was a couple, married couple. I don't want to disclose too much, but still, you know what I mean? Like he was very sincere, very polite, but very serious. And I just took it as they were very busy. That's the other thing. I knew they weren't both on board, so I figured I don't want to cause like havoc, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
any, like every time this pops up, I guess from a marriage perspective, um, but that's being too analytical about it. I think I should just step back.
The other thing is the DISC personality profile. Make sure you know
Mhm.
DISC, and they're probably different personality profiles, right?
That's
She's
true. That's
probably
true.
I and outgoing. It sounds like it might be a C
Mhm.
or a CD or some combination. And that's part of the game. That's all good. And some people like to reveal their cards, and some people like to hold them close.
Mhm.
That's all fine. Your job as the salesperson is to do the follow up. Their job is not to follow up with you. Your job is to follow up with them.
All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
I think
Thank
you're
you.
doing all the right things. You just keep going. Go with your gut, Michelle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question. All right, good. So does anyone else have some more questions for me? Because I think we got through my chat box, unless I missed something.
Mike,
Yes, yes.
is there a link? Um, is there a link for something in there? Because I didn't see any links. I thought you said something about a link.
Is this Cindy?
Yeah,
Hey, Cindy, good to hear your voice. All right.
good.
So yeah, if you go to, I think the link that we're talking about is to get the template. And to get the template, if you go to www, there it is, Angela just put it in, www.agentbplan.com. If you go there, it's not a link. Like if you type that in, that's a forwarder that will send you to the place where you can download it, right? Where you can enter your name and your email, and then it'll send you the download for the template.
Okay.
Did you try
So
that?
just
Why don't
go.
you try it right now while we're just talking? Did you have, are
So
you
just
have that open?
go to that link that she just sent.
Yeah, just www.agentbplan.com. Type that into Google or your web browser, and you should get there.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. Oh,
Cool.
it's Agent B Plan.
Yes, Agent, and then the letter B is in boy, plan, PLAN.com. And the B stands for business. So agentbplan.com.
I got it. Thank you so much.
You bet, Cindy. Good to hear you. All right, cool. Who else do we have out there? Anybody other questions you got for us? I want to get your questions answered. Yeah, we're doing good. Cool. All right, good. Well, I'm going to go ahead then and wrap this up. What we'll do is I'm hoping that I have a recording, and if I do, I will send that out. I'll send the link out probably be tomorrow because I'll have to download it and make sure where it looks okay and get it uploaded, blah, blah, blah. So it'll be by tomorrow for a replay. Let me just ask this. Was this helpful or valuable? Did y'all enjoy this? Was this helpful? Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. And I should have done this where I could see more people. Yeah. Helpful. Yeah. I didn't have everybody's picture open, so I couldn't see everybody. All right. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. And thanks for your time. Again, I hope this was helpful and hope you have a fantastic and productive rest of your day. All right. Take care.
Thank you, Mike.